What's up? It's your girl Nisi, and in this video, we're going to get into some supply and demand. Okay, but before we take it to the charts, I like to break it all the way down. But if you're new here and you didn't know that, well, now you know. So let's get into it. Supply and demand. Let's first get into supply. Let's say you own a business selling fruit, okay? And your inventory comes in and they gave you 500 more packs of strawberries than you ordered. All right. Now you know that these strawberries are going to expire soon. So what do? You're going to try to get rid of them. You're going to try to hurry up and get rid of them. You're going to try to hurry up and sell them. Why? Because you have too much of it and you know that it's going to expire soon. So what is supply? Supply is aggressively selling because you have too much of it, all right? But when it comes to the charts, this is what it's going to look like. Now, I just put some random candles up there for this part right here. But what do you see? You see that you have these two large candles right here that just started selling, 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 selling. Now, where to tell, like where to draw your supply zone, or what exactly are you looking for other than candles like this? This is what you will want to see. First, you'll want to see some aggressive selling. Okay, so you will see some large engulfing candles selling, or you will see multiple engulfing candles. Multiple just regular candles selling. It doesn't really matter too much on what it looks like exactly, as long as it's aggressively selling. Okay, aggressively dropping. And aggressive is it's just, you see how we're just we're moving here like this, and then we just started dropping, dropping, dropping. That's what aggressively selling is. Now, for you to determine where to draw your box, you're going to want to look for the last. So we're selling. You're looking for the last green candle before it took off. Okay. So this would be the last green candle. It's going to look better once I move to the charts, but right now this is what we're looking at. So this right here would be your supply zone right here. And you want to mark it from wick to wick. Okay. If it doesn't have a wick, then you go to the top of the candle, whatever. Okay. But you're going to wick to wick. This would be your supply zone. Okay. You will want it to, come back here, drop. That's what it will look like as a supply. Now let's get into demand. There was a time where when a new pair of J's came out, what did you see people do? People were literally lining up outside overnight for these shoes. Okay. Why? Because everybody knew that if you didn't get them on release day, you probably wasn't gonna get them at all, or you was gonna pay those resale prices. Okay. And if you know, you know. All right. But when it comes to this, instead of it being we having too much of it and we needing to sell it, it was the opposite. Now we don't have that many and everybody wants it. So the way I like to put it is, the man is, of course, aggressively buying. Not enough. In other words, what's popular. Okay. And again, when it comes to the charts, this is what it's going to look like. again, I just drew some random candles here, right here. But what you're looking for in demand is an aggressive buy. You see here, we are just shooting up, shooting up, shooting up, buying, 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 buying. Okay, we already know that trading and selling. I mean, trading and the charts are about buying and selling. Okay, so you're buying, 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 buying. This is your demand. This is where you're going to find your demand. All right, so how do I draw your demand zone? You're looking for the last candle, the last selling candle, bearish candle, red candle, whatever the case may be, the last bearish candle before it took off. Okay. Then when we draw a zone, we're going wick to wick. All right. So this is our last bearish candle before it decided to take off. So this would be our zone. See, the wick is here and the wick is here. This is our demand zone. So what are we looking for? We will be waiting for this to come here and go right on up, back up. That's it. So with all that being said, we're going to head over to the chart so I can show you some live examples, okay? Because it's going to look a lot better. All right. So yeah.
Okay, we come to the charts, and this is what we see. First thing that you should notice is are these two candles right here. What are they doing? They are selling, 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 selling. Okay. This is what you'll consider aggressive selling. Why? Because look how large these candles are. These are engulfing candles. So, we see that. That means what? That means that we have a supply near. How do we find our supply? We are looking for the last bullish candle before it created this right here, this aggressive selling. So that would be this candle right here. Now, how do we draw our supply zone? You're drawing your supply zone wick to wick. Okay, that is your zone area here, right? So this would be your supply. Now all we do is wait until it taps into the zone here. Okay. Went a little too fast, but oh well. So we tapped into the zone here, and boom, we tapped again. You can see these wicks here. Now, as long as the candle's body does not break above or below, depending on what you're looking at, like above this box here, this zone is still valid. All right. The only way it would be invalid if, say, this candle here closed above this with its body. So it can wick above it all at once, as long as it doesn't break and close, with the body. So then we got that, and then we created this right here. This is because now you will be waiting on a bearish candle. All right, like I said, I clicked I was clicking a little too fast, so we already got it. I would see this, and then if I seen this is what I would be looking for. But this will give me extra confirmation because this here is its own like candle stick pattern. That is something that you will have to look into when it comes to learning about candlestick patterns or whatever. So I will get in here. Now, depending on what your risk is, what you're willing to risk, and all type of personal factors, you can either go above this zone here, but if this is too large of a zone, because this zone is pretty large, this would probably be too much. I like to go a little above this current candle slash entry candles wick. You can see that the wick is right here. This is the wick is right here. Okay, and I like to go slightly above that. So I went above that here, and this is YM. So I like to go to 100 ticks for YM. That's 1K. So that's just me. But you can go to this low here. This low is even better. I like this low actually. So I would possibly aim for that right there. So yeah, let's see what we get. Boom. Me, I would have pulled my stop loss to break even. Once it was at like a 101, probably would have took partials or something like that. Most likely putting it to break even because I do like this area here. But that's just excuse me. That's just other stuff. We're here for supply and demand. But as you can see, TP was hit. Now let's go back some. Let's go back. Now you see this area right here. You see your aggressive sell, right? What's even better is an extra confirmation is it broke structure here. This candle here broke structure. So when you see something like this, because some consolidation, you see consolidation and it breaks structure, you should be looking for a supply or demand. That's even more confirmation for you to see like, oh, there's some supply and demand somewhere here. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to do another one. All right. Now, say you come into your charts and this is what you see. What do we see automatically? We see these candles here. What are they doing? Selling. This is what I mean by aggressively selling, because they're just dropping. All right. So when we see that, what are we looking for? We're looking for the last candle, the last green candle before it decided to sell like this. All right. So what is that? That is this candle right here. This candle right here. So when you're drawing your zones, you're going to draw it from wick to wick. Okay. Top of the wick, bottom of the wick. Doesn't matter. Just wick to wick. That is your zone there. Now, I usually like to go for like 3 or more candles. So if it's like 3 or more, that's an area that I like to look for when it comes to looking for supply and demand. But it doesn't always be like that, because sometimes it could be 2 large engulfing candles, which those are cool too. So now what are we waiting on? Now we're waiting on it to hit our supply zone. Okay. So let's just wait. Now you may ask, because again, I did just say 3 or more, and this gives you 3, and you have your last candle here. You could mark this up too as a supply. This falls up under the same category, aggressively selling, 3 or more here with the last green candle before it decided to do that is there. So that would be a supply. So you can also mark that up too, because sometimes it may not come all the way back up here. It could come in between here somewhere. Okay. So let's see. Okay, it tapped into this. Now what we're waiting for is a bearish engulfing candle, which is one of these right here, one of these candles right here before we enter. Okay, this one broke above. What does that mean? That means this area here is invalid. This don't even matter no more. Doesn't even matter. So now we're looking to head up here. So let's see. Okay, so we tapped into our supply. Again, what are we looking for? We're looking for one of these bearish candles here to let us know that we want to continue down. So let's see. Okay, me personally, I need a stronger bearish candle before I can enter. Now, even though this massive wick right here happened, it still never broke this box. It still haven't broke. So what does that mean? Again, there's strength here, yes. And also, this is still a valid box. So we need a bearish engulfing candle. Now, I would like for it to break outside of the box. I want it to break outside of the box, indicating that it still wants to continue down. Boom. That right there, that would have been good for me. Take it here, and I'm taking it above this, a little bit above this wick here. And you can take it to this low here. I take it to just 100 ticks. 100 ticks on YM for me, that's 1K, and I'm good with that. Boom. As easy as that. This is your supply here. Now, we haven't gotten into demand yet, but I want to just show you something really quick. All right. Now, remember we had this going down and we were waiting. And I said I like for three or more candles for aggressive buying, aggressive selling. On the way down, and we wait for it to come up, what happened? We had, look, 1, 2, 3 engulfing bullish candles. Now, what do? We look for the previous bearish candle. Here go. The previous bearish candle, wick to wick. It came, tapped into here, gave us a bullish engulfing candle here. Because I would have liked that personally. Take it with that wick up under. You can take it to the supply because, you can, or, just for however much, you want to take it for. But still, you can take it to the supply, let it hit the supply, wait until to see how it reacted to your supply zone, and then get in where we had got in just then, here. Take it for the 100 ticks, which is, look, low key at the top of this demand. So if you was a little shaky on where to take it to, there you go. But that's just that's a little bit more advanced. So okay, now let's look for a demand. Okay. Now we come to the chart, it's the same thing, same routine. You come to the charts and this is what you see. Again, what do you see? You see these candles here, the three or more candles. They are just pushing up. This is aggressively buying. When we aggressively buying, everybody wants it. So they're going to hurry up and come and get it and buy it. It's a demand. It's high in demand right now. Okay. So we got the aggressive buying. Now we need to see what candle before was bearish. That candle before, the bearish candle before it just took off like this, is this candle right here. So we're going from wick to wick. All right, wick to wick. And again, extra confirmation is here's some consolidation right here. This is consolidation. You have a break of structure right here with this candle, broke structure. Now we're waiting on it to tap into our demand zone right here. Let's let it tap. So let's see. Okay, so it tapped here. Now for me, when it taps like this and it rejects off like this, I like it. So without needing a bullish engulfing candle, because this rejection was so strong, I most likely probably will get in here. And then again, remember, we're taking it below. Again, you can take it below this the box if you're okay with that risk, which this is gold. So this is only if you're doing like the regular, not the micros, is this is 500, and I like to go for 10 ticks on gold for the 1K. But me, I'm going below the wick, below this candle's wicks right here, just a little bit. I give it a little room or whatever, and then we just wait. TP was hit. TP was hit. So we did come back in some drawdown a little bit, which was fine with me. This is why we have a stop loss. This is why we have a certain amount that we want to risk, okay, to give it, whatever room you want to get. And this was only a little up under 400, so $380 to make 1K. This is on gold. So again, we got the aggressive buying, these three candles right here. This is the last bearish candle before we took off like that. We broke some structure here, okay? This rejection candle was so great in my opinion to me, because this is the type of things I look for. I decided to get in here and go a little below the wick and take it to whatever your profit goal is or your tick value is, or whatever the case may be, and you're good to go. But I'm going to do one more. Okay, so here we go. You have what do you have? It's the same things. I'm going to continue to say the same thing. Aggressive buying. Now, I mentioned that you may not always just have engulfing candles. You just may have something like this where you just have a whole bunch of just bullish candles just going up. Hold on, laptop about to die. Okay, so sometimes you may have candles that look like this, but still, what is this? You just see a whole bunch of green candles. Green candles indicates what? The bulls are in. What do the bulls do? What do the bulls mean? It means to buy, buying. So this is aggressive buys, aggressive buying. Now we're looking for demand. That means that there's a demand near, because we have this aggressive buying. Now we're looking for the last bearish candle. You're going wick to wick. Okay, that is your demand. Now you have your demand. More confirmation. What is more confirmation? We broke structure. Here's the structure, the previous structure here, and there was some consolidation. So that's even more. Let me give you even more confirmation. So now we wait until it taps into our zone. It must tap too. Now, I wouldn't get in here because this is low key a indecisive candle. Okay, because the wicks is like low key like equal wicks on the candles. But again, that's a little bit more advanced if you're looking into like the candlesticks and how they work and stuff. So I would need another bullish candle before getting in. And what I mean by equal wicks, mean like this wick from the top and the bottom, they're low key like the same length to me. Like I need one side to be I don't know, stronger than the other, I guess, or whatever. But that's just me. So I would need another one. And you're right, because if I would have got in here on that, I like to take it below the candle, that would have stopped me out. So no. Now, even though we wick below the box, we have not broken the box with the candle body. It has to break with the candle's body in order for it to be invalid. This is still a valid demand zone. Now I'm waiting on and I like this candle here. I need a bullish engulfing candle outside of the box, and I'll probably get in. And that would do it for me right there. That would do it. And I like to take it, I like to go below the this carrot candles wick, but that's only like $180. So I'm honestly okay with going below the box, which is $300. I'm okay with that. And I like to go for my 10 ticks. This is on gold, so that's why I go for 10. 10 ticks on gold. Now let's see what happens. Let me just press play. TP was hit. That's it.